Hi, my name is Aurélie, and I will be presenting my chapter summaries for the chapter 11, 12, and 13. So first, let's start with the chapter 11, which is concerning managing individual and diverse workplaces. So diversity and why it matters. So diversity means by variety. It exists in an organization when there are a variety of demographic, cultural, and personal differences among the people who work there and the customer who do business there. Also, here is a explanation of the difference between diversity and employment equity, which are two different types of things that are often confused. So for the employment equity, it's about ensuring the appropriate representation of specific members of the workplace, known as the four designated groups, which are women, Aboriginal people, person with disabilities, and visible minorities. After there's the a little table that I created for to identify even better the difference between employment equity and diversity in a business. So focus more narrowly on demographic concerning the employment equity and the diversity, which is more broadly included demographic, cultural differences, personal differences. After we got diversity makes good business sense. It's great for a business to have diversity in it because it creates greater creativity and improved problem solving, and also it has better insight into the needs of a diverse customer client base, and it enhances the ability to attract the best talent in a diverse labor market. Also, these two phrases that were in the manual, I thought they were both important concerning diversity in the business world. So diversity is no longer about counting heads, it's about making head counts. And also the sentence, the ability to manage and harness the benefits of today's diverse workforce is vital to remaining competitive in the changing global marketplace. These are two true sentences that are applied and should be applied in every organization and business. So there's different type of diversity. There's the surface level diversity, deep level diversity. So these are all explained here. What it consists: the age discrimination and gender discrimination, race and ethnic discrimination, mental and physical disability, which are surface level diversity, and the deep level diversity are more differences that are communicated through verbal and nonverbal behavior, and that are learned only through extended interaction with people. So it's basically the personality difference, attitude, belief, and values, how a person behaves. After the managing diversity, so in the diversity paradigms, we got the discrimination and fairness paradigm, access and legitimacy paradigm, learning and effectiveness paradigm. Also here I created an arrow that explained the diversity principle and how they should be implemented in a business. And this diversity training and practice where the organizations should use. First, there's the awareness training that is described more in detail under it, the skill-based diversity training, diversity audits, and diversity pairing, also that are all explained below. Now for chapter 12, we got motivation. So the basics of motivation, it's come from efforts, the initiation, direction, persistence that gives a better performance of the employees and the business also. So the effort and performance, here's the Mars model that is basically this one but in more details. Also the needs satisfaction that is very important in motivation. There are three different theories, the Maslow hierarchy, Aldous, Arg, and McKillen's learning needs. After the types of rewards that can be used in business to motivate its employees. So there's the extrinsic reward and the intrinsic reward. So the extrinsic reward are reward that are tangible, visible to others, and given to employees contingent on the performance of specific tasks or behavior. So it's like money, bonus, and other things like that that are material things. And the intrinsic reward are a natural reward associated with performing a task and activity for its own sake. So it's gratitude and also something you're proud of when you have completed the task. So motivating with the basic needs. So the step of motivating employees are all described here. Then we go to the equity theory. That is a theory that states people will be motivated at work when they perceive that they are being treated fairly. So it's important in a organization to treat their employee fairly to motivate them, and it contribute to give a better input and outcomes for the company. Here is the outcome input ratio and how to calculate it. So motivating with equity theory. So first you look to for correcting major inequities, reduce employees' inputs, make sure that decision-making process are fair. And next we got the expectancy theory that states that people will be motivated to the extent to which they believe that their efforts will lead to good performance. That good performance will be rewarded and that they will be offered attractive reward. So there's the components, there's balance, expectancy, instrumentally. And to motivate with expectancy theory, you need to find out what employees want from their job, link reward to individual performance in clear and understandable ways to employees, empower employees to make decisions. After we got the reinforcement theory, a theory that states that the behavior is a function of its consequences, that behavior followed by positive consequences will occur more frequently, and that behavior followed by negative consequences are not followed by positive consequences will occur less frequently. So this is very important to distinguish how to give negative consequences, because sometimes these negative consequences can strengthen behavior by withholding an unpleasant consequence when employees perform a specific behavior that is judged in a bad way from the organization and the managers and the owners. So here are the components that are organized in a smart art graph. Here, this is the intermittent reinforcement schedule, the interval, ratio, fixed variable, and what it consists of. After we got motivating with reinforcement theory and how they can do it. So first they could identify critical, observable, performance-related behavior, measure baseline frequency of this behavior, analyze the causes and consequences of behaviors, and all the others. And finally, we got the goal setting theory that it's a theory that says that people will be motivated to the extent to which they accept specific challenging goals and receive feedback that indicate their progress toward goals achievement. So the components for goal setting theory, it's a goal specificity, goal acceptance, goal difficulty, performance feedback. And to motivate with goal setting theory, you assign them specific challenging goals. Make sure that workers truly accept organization goals and provide frequent specific performance-related feedback. And this is the goal setting, the theory to the model, and how to create a more motivating environment for the employees. And finally, chapter 13 with leadership. So, leadership is the process of influencing others to achieve groups and organization goals. So, there's some differences between managers and leaders. So, managers do things right, and leaders do the right things. Managers are more focused on the productivity and efficiency, whereas the leader are focused on vision, mission, goals, and objectives. So basically, leaders are more uh, based on the individual, and the manager are more based on the organization goals and to create a more efficient business. So the leaders trait, there's the here are all enumerated. So they need to have drive, desire to lead, honesty and integrity, self-confidence, emotional stability, emotional intelligence, cognitive ability, and knowledge of the business also. So the leadership behaviors, they initiated structure, so they job-centered leadership and concern for production. And they considerate leader behavior, so employee-centered leadership and concern for people. And this is the Blake Muthan leadership grid. And now we're going to with the situational approaches to leadership. So first there's the Fielder's contingency theory, which is matching leaders to the right situation. Here's the leadership style and how LPC is described positively, negatively, moderately, and leadership style, relationship oriented and task oriented, flexible. So, situational favorableness, the degree to which a particular situation either permits or denies a leader to change the chance to influence the behavior of a group member. So, the leader-member relationship, task structure, position, power. After we have the situational favorableness with the leader-members relationship, the task structure, position, power in the situation. And then we have the adapting leader behavior theory, that's the path goal theory, and it's all explained here with this image from the manual. And the subordinate and environmental contingency that goes with the path goal theory. Here, how to use directive, supportive, participative, and achievement-oriented leadership. And the normative theory, decision style, and level of employee participation. After, we also have the normative theory decision rule that increases the decision quality. After, the strategic leadership, so the strategic leadership is the ability to anticipate and vision, maintain flexibility, think strategically, work with others, initiate changes, create a positive for the future. There's also the visionary leadership that is about creating a positive image of the future that motivates organizational members and provide direction for future planning and goal setting. There's also the charismatic leadership that is all explained here with the little details. And finally, there's the ethical and unethical charismatic, the difference between these two and how they influence the followers. And finally, I created this image that describe how the transformational leadership interact into a business concerning the charismatic leadership, inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration. Thank you.